Test, test. Test 1, 2. Seem right. That is right. All right, let's get everybody in here. Oops. Bingo. Good morning, everybody. Great to see you. Happy to be here with you. Happy to round out a fantastic Friday. So, I do have a quick update for today. I spoke about it earlier this week, but Russell is not going to be able to join us this week. He's out changing the world. He's on a 2-week rampage tour. It's going to be amazing to see what he's done. So anyway, cool things coming up in the future with Russell. He's not going to be able to be here today. I'm going to still be here at 12 o'clock. We might be able to answer all the questions before 12. OFA has had lighter crowds these past 2 weeks due to holidays and travel. So cool beans if we can get everything finished before 12. If not, please, no worries. If any experts come in or are here with expert questions, we can still have our 12 to 1 portion of the session. But I'm excited to get into it. We've been having a lot of fun this week, a lot of big change happening. So let's get it cracking right away. I see Sayuri's hand up. But as always, gang, I just want to reiterate, I'm not here for myself and I'm not your third grade teacher. I'm excited to get into your business and into your marketing and do cool things. So please, any and all questions are more than welcome. Let's get it started with Sayuri. Good morning.
Good morning, Dante. How are you?
Living the dream. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Okay, so I have a couple of questions.
Cool.
Stat. Okay, so my program right now, Tag Team Effect, is actually I'm doing it live. So my goal was to be able to do what Russell says, like basically promote it, and then like be able to like start executing on the actual program, like as far away as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so the little, I don't want to say issue, but basically, when my first program that I ever created was a different program that someone had purchased, and she reached out because she never actually consumed the content. And since then, I mean, it's been 5 years. I now have ClickFunnels, and so the other program was like built in another program. So basically, I don't even have the program anymore. So I told her that I was going to be releasing a new program. It's so exciting. So basically, since she had purchased the original program, I made the decision to just offer this new program for her for free, as like she will be part of my beta group. And so she had asked me when it was starting. And so I told her that it was going to start next week, but I haven't sold it to anyone else. And so now I'm in this pickle where like, am I going to be performing this whole live program just for one person? Or is there a better way that I should go about it? So what do you think?
Cool. Here is my opinion. I prefer having more than one
Right.
personally. I would
Right.
like to have 5 or 6 people, because in my Zoom recordings, if I'm ever doing Q&As, at least I have people to do Q&As with, right?
Right.
But it's the first one.
Right.
Just to give you full picture of how the game works. You
Right.
do this now, but like 3 months down the line, you're getting really good at registrations, you're getting really good at the webinar, and you're getting like 100 people joining in, right? And then
Right.
when you get 100 people, you're hitting it. You get great recordings. It's awesome. So these early on ones, you end up replacing them a couple months down the line if you're just like going to naturally and organically do something cool.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Cool. That's what a lot of people would do, Sayuri. They'll start out, they'll shoot the course, and they'll do it with like 5 people. And then when
Okay.
it blows up, they'll probably do it again live. It'll be a whole nother push to the marketplace on how they can join in on this amazing thing and do it live. So you get more people to go, and then you can replace the videos with 5s with videos with hundreds of people. But to start, if you can get 5 people, I'm jacked. That's my favorite way to start, because nobody's watching you mess up. Nobody's watching any of the problems. And if you mess up small. I love the small number. I love selling before you build. It's fantastic. I do like more than one, though. So this lady, one critique I had, what is the price point of the thing she got? What is that price point?
The first program was 197, which was very low. and tag team effect.
197 being what she initially purchased in the old program.
Correct.
Cool.
197. So like this is like a $897 program. And she took forever to even like reach out. Like she just never, she's like, it wasn't the right timing. She was waiting for her husband to also be on board, and it became this whole thing. So like,
But
I
now
mean, we're
5 years
talking,
later, the timing is right. And she's like, yeah, let's go. Let's do.
right. She's like, hey, I just logged into the portal and I couldn't access my program. And that's because, I switched over to a new program. And now my thing is like I could get 5 people, but I haven't even like my next webinar will be next Thursday. And so
Yes.
essentially I'm like, how do I just tell 5 friends I mean 4 friends to join in and be on the calls, or like what would you do?
What is the price point? Your webinar is selling what and what price point?
$897.
Oh, we need to make that $997 immediately, Siri. $997. Have I
Okay.
told you about universal numbers?
No, but
Okay.
I love to hear.
I'm not getting heebie-jeebie or mumbo jumbo
Right.
here.
Okay.
Universal numbers are a real thing. They truly
Okay.
do make people think and feel and see things in certain ways. Universal numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Okay.
Those are universal numbers. That you always want universal number in your pricing. So your first number was 8. Not a shot, not a chance. 997.97. That is a stacking of universal numbers. That's how we want to price. And please, gang, when I first learned this, please do not make the mistakes that I made when I first learned this. When I first started practicing business, I naively thought I could make up my own rules to play the game. That is not how we win. You need to learn the rules to the game and play by them. Learn the rules better than your competitor. That's how you win. So I found out about universal numbers, and I've always gone to the grocery store to check out things. It's easy ways for me to price things. Grocery store, Walmart, Target. I can go look at all sorts of pricing models and stacking. So I hear about universal numbers. I go to the grocery store. Sure enough, ding, 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 every single product, 3.97, 1997, 1797, right? Why does no product ever end with zeros? And as a consumer, I actually was always frustrated with that. As a consumer of products, I was like, do you think I'm stupid? I know it's $4. Don't make it $3.97. Just make it $4. I always took it as like an attack on my intelligence, and I never liked it as a consumer. But that was me thinking selfishly. I wasn't paying attention to my buying antics and what I was actually purchasing and not purchasing. So I learned the rules to the game, and I said, I don't like those rules. I'm not going to play those rules. And I priced all my things against universal numbers. I ended up with flat 0 zeros, and I struggled for months because of it. As soon as I changed up my pricing, and as soon as I made my pricing meet the models that were already converting in the marketplace, that would be $497. Interesting, it doesn't start with a universal number, but it converts. If you were to go funnel hack, $497 always has converted. $497, $997, $1997, $1,997, or $49.97. Again, doesn't start with the universal number, but converts and works. Once I started pricing my stuff that way, bingo, I saw immediate lifts in sales. So for you, Sayuri, $897 does not start with universal, and I don't know anybody else that is successfully selling courses specifically and purposefully using that pricing model. So what you should do is $997, play with your stack numbers to make it equal 10x 997. You know, when you make a stack, when you make an offer, you're going to get this and this and this and this and this and this, and normally it's all going to be this much. That's your total value. And we want our total value to be 10x the price that we're going to give them. So if your price you're going to charge is $997, the products in your stack should equal 10x 997, $10,000.
Okay.
Cool. Now, the next, I'm sorry, I know that was a lot, but do you have any questions on that?
No, that's very clear. I'm thinking even my conversation starters are $47. So is that a good price, or I should make it 37?
47 $47 does convert. I don't know
Okay.
why. That 47,
Mm,
497, 4,997. Truthfully, I do not know why that works. I
okay.
think it more so has to do with, like, I don't know why 47 is always used over 57 or
Right.
37. Right? I think
Right.
47 is used more than 37 because I don't think 37 works well with ad spend and customer acquisition cost. I think it's harder to make money on 37 than 47. But
Wow.
why wouldn't we use 57? Like, why can't I just establish a little bit more value, and wouldn't 57 convert more than 47? I don't truly have an answer on that one. I've always wondered, I've always questioned. Hey Siri,
Yes, I'm here.
take a
Oh.
note. Make a podcast on pricing models, $47 versus 37 versus 57. Also, why not 5,997 versus 4,497? So I'm going to get a psychologist, and we're going to make a podcast episode about that exact thing. Everybody in the world worries about that. It's interesting, but your $47 product, is it converting?
I mean, it has converted in the past, yes. I'm not running any ads because I'm focusing on the whole program right now. But when I sold it and I pushed for it, it was converting very well.
Cool. Was it
So
$47 flat or $47.97?
it was flat, $47.
So the order of split testing I would do is I would change the next time I'm ready to push real traffic to that, I would change it to 47.97. Then I would see what that does, and maybe even in the middle of my traffic push, if I get enough data to make a decision, I might change. Nah, I wouldn't change it. So let's just talk marketing for a second. If I'm doing a launch, if I'm doing a push, that's going to be tons of social media content. That's going to be tons of
Right.
emails. That's going to be SMS to the people whose phone numbers that I have. I'm doing a launch, and I'd probably do like a 7-day launch, right? I'm really trying to sell the fire out of this bad boy. So I would not, in the middle of a launch like that, I would have an early bird special where if they act on the first day, they can get a discount. But after that early bird special, maybe it goes away. I wouldn't go changing prices though. But you can do a launch, test on $47.97. Do another launch, test on $57.97. And you could see what converts best. Cool. Let's get back to the main question at hand now that I'm just rambling around. We were talking about stack, and we were talking about you need to hit 997. I was talking about that because I heard you mention it in the first thing. Ooh, thank you. Bingo. The next thing I heard you say was you gave this lady the course for free. That was great. That was smart. That was awesome, especially because you need to get people into the course. You probably could have recharged her the $197. It's been 5 years. You probably could have got money out of her, and you probably could have said, hey, I'm launching this course. It's actually going to be $997, but I understand the time is right, and I so dearly want to help you. So if you will just pay $197, that's 20% of the actual cost of this course, and it replaces the $197 you spent for the original, which this is far superior. I'd love to give you unlimited access, and you probably could have got that out of her. On the same topic here, I think you could use that same strategy if you have some people that you know you would love to go through your course. Maybe you have some friends, or maybe you just have some people that you like and they're honest and open and you think they would benefit. Feel free to get from that one person to 5 or 6. It is common practice that we'll cherry pick people and give them an unbelievable offer that they want to say yes to.
Okay. And you will give it to them for free or for a discounted price?
I would personally at this point in my life, I would charge them like $197. I would say you're getting 80% off on this. It literally just covers my tech costs, which you're making money on that because you have ClickFunnels. Your tech cost is like nothing. But I would position it as here. It's an 80% discount. It just covers costs, and it's the best I could do to get you in completely for free. Most people, when you offer them your great service and you say, I'm not making money on you, I'm just not losing money on you, they'll all jump at the bit.
Okay. And so logistically, because I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna be running the weekly webinars on Thursday. So
Mhm.
let's just say that I do these calls on Monday. Am I so then I'm doing the program, but let's just say somebody bought the program. Let's just say that today is Monday and I'm doing module one, which is on mindset.
Yep.
Then somebody buys the program after the webinar, and
Mhm.
then we're starting again on Monday. Am
Mhm.
I doing the calls, the same mindset course again live for that person?
No, you're building out your entire course. First Monday after the first webinar, when you're shooting live, you're doing module 1.
Right.
Second Monday, you're doing module 2. Third Monday, you're doing module 3. You're building your course out live with them week by week. So somebody watches second webinar. They go into the course. They have a second week. So they go in the course and they take module 1, which you shot last week.
Okay, I
And
got
then
it.
by Monday, they're current and they enter that next lesson with you and they can now ask questions and do the thing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay,
Nice.
it's more clear in my head. So I just feel
Good.
like
The first
that's
time we
not
do it, it is super confusing. There's so many things. You're like, how does that work? You're fine.
okay. That makes sense. That makes. And then I wanted to ask you, going to the Dream 100. I know that Russell talks a
Mm.
lot about building your Dream 100 list, and then I wanted to ask you, what does that process look like? Do I send them a cold email,
Nope.
and okay,
What's your other options? No to
I
that.
have I created like a speaking guide that positions myself as an expert and like shows like my three topics that I could give value to their audience. Um, but that will be like in a form of an email. I'm thinking I can do a Loom video with an attachment. Should I engage with them on social media first? All the above. What are some best practices? I'm
Okay.
trying to.
When it comes to Dream 100, here's where everybody falls off. When
Okay.
Russell made his Dream 100, he identified 100 of his dream clients that also had an audience that he could use to monetize, right?
Right.
So Russell gets his Dream 100 list, and then he took, I think it was 6 hours one morning. He parked his Jeep next to his office. He had somebody stand with a video camera outside of his Jeep. And Russell, for each 100 people, got out of his Jeep, opened up his door, and hit the script. Hey, Sayuri, my name is Russell Brunson. I'm an author, and I just launched out this book, .com Secrets. And I've been following your work for a really long time. I read your book, and I really enjoyed. I saw you speak at this event, and you were speaking on this topic, and I really enjoyed it. I got a lot of great insights from it. I've applied a lot of what you did, and I wrote my own book, and I think it'd be really valuable for you and your audience. And I think there's a lot of great stuff that we could also do together. So I just wanted to send you a free copy. That's what's inside the box. You'll also find some other great things that I just wanted to share with you and make a connection. So thanks a lot for sharing. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope to hear from you soon. Feel free to email me or you can call me at this number anytime. Russell wouldn't give his number. He would give his Voxer, right? But he did that, Sayuri, a custom warm welcome, a curate with each person. I saw you here. I watch you here. I follow you on this, like a personal for each person on the Dream 100. It took almost an entire day. But
But where did
go
he
ahead.
park his Jeep? He went to the person's like building
No,
where they
outside
work.
Russell's office. Outside
Okay,
Russell's
got it.
office.
Okay,
So, like
okay.
for you, I could see you going to a big church that's around you and parking your Jeep where they can kind of see the church. It's not the main
Okay.
focal point. Please don't park yourself right out in front of the church and walk out of the doors like you're the pastor of the church, right? But it's just you could see it didn't have a huge ClickFunnels logo even. Russell, it was literally the background was, and actually the background of this video, the office. So I'm the video camera looking at Russell. All you're seeing was his Jeep. There was a row of trees behind his Jeep, and actually behind the row of they were young, freshly planted trees. Behind that was an open, empty lot where they were getting ready to build a new business area or a complex or a home or something. So it was like literally, there wasn't bulldozers and mounds of dirt, but it was like just a open lot. It didn't even show the office. He just did it. He was at his office when he did it.
Wow.
That was it. It's not really about the background. It's not really about the setting. Of course, we don't want to go sit next to a dumpster, unless our Dream 100 are dumpster divers or something related
Right.
to dumpsters, but it's all about custom curated message that shows that you actually know, because you know how many emails they get a day? Like your Dream 100,
Right.
there's two strategies to Dream 100. We can target macro influencers, which are the big giant influencers, the Gary V's, the Russell Brunsons, the Dean Graziosis, the Tony Robbins, or micro influencers, the whoever who have 1 to maybe 10,000 people following them. They're doing well, but they're not killing it by any means. Their inbox is not inundated with requests for them to go do this thing for $500,000, right? So who's yours? Is it macro or micro?
Dream big, so I go macro. I have
If you're going macro, you know how many cold emails they get every single day, pumping opportunities, pumping them. Hey, here's $100,000 if you'll just write the foreword for my book. And actually, you don't even have to write it. I already pre-wrote the foreword. If I'll just give you $100,000 if I can put your name below this thing. You know how many of those they get a day? Like they're not gonna. But how many custom curated messages do they get a day? Well, that's not too many. And just that intent, showing that intent on the front end really goes a long way with Dream 100. What I'm thinking for you, Sayuri, is I would be using AI for this if I could. I would probably take an entire day, or I would probably try and ask questions and maybe find my who on how to do this. Or I would just do it for each person exactly like Russell did. But you can use AI for videos now. We have videos. There's like Sora in ChatGPT that can make videos. So I have to wonder, if you made one custom intro for one person and you did that one time and you uploaded that video to Sora and you just said, hey, make me that video, but that says this script. I wonder if you could have AI do it where you have a really great looking video that goes out to all your people. But if that's like too time consuming, or if that's a hurdle or a roadblock, just put a camera there and do 100 Dream 100 intros just like Russell did, custom to each person, showing your intent and that you care. Is your Dream 100 going to be pastors and church owners?
A mix of like CEO leaders, like even
yeah,
even
it can't just be an email with words and click here if you want to learn more. It can't. It'll be a waste of time.
So do you find value in like actually, like, let's say booking a ticket to a conference where they're going to be speaking at, and then, but I don't want to seem like a groupie, like a fan, like, oh, hi, and then going, like, I just don't really, I don't know if do you see value in that, in doing that, or no?
Okay, great question here, Sayuri. I see value in going to events that are related to my space. I see networking value. Yes, I see massive value in the networking opportunities of going to events in my particular space. Do I go to an event to try and meet a guy? No, because like if you go to Funnel Hacking Live to try and meet Russell Brunson, you're going to have a really hard time. And the opportunity that you are going to have to meet a Russell Brunson is if you pay $10,000 for the coaching course. Of course, it's 30 days refundable. But do you know how many other people go to Funnel Hacking Live and buy the $10,000 coaching course so they can get in line with Russell and Todd and get a picture with them shaking their hands? And while they do, they take 10 seconds and try and give an elevator pitch to Russell. Like, so if you go try and do that to other people, you're going to get put in the same cycle. And it's like, okay, cool. So there's Sayuri's pitch. I hope you have the best elevator pitch he's ever heard. Otherwise, it gets lost in the sea. What is better is sending a box to that person, right? Maybe that like one of the CEOs that you're following really likes Nike. So maybe you send him a nice pair of Nikes. And then we hear that and we're like, okay, well, whoa, hold on now. Those Nikes are going to cost me like $250. And that was just one thing in the box, right? Maybe you also put in that box a book that you read that you always really liked that pertains to his thing. Or maybe it's a book that he wrote and you're like, man, I love this book and I read it and I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to send it to you as a thank you. Or maybe you want him to sign it and send it back, right? You're like, it would be an honor to have you sign this book, whether we ever do anything or not. Like, just what it's done for me is immeasurable. That's the networking game. That's you. So to try and tie this all together in something actionable for all of you, for macro people, You should be sending boxes. We should be sending gifts. We should be investing money into those relationships, fostering and nurturing those. And it doesn't have to be boxes. That's just what we've done for the past 100 years, right? But packages, gifts, things that like somebody sent me this and I love it and it's on my desk. And now I think about that person every day that thing's on my desk and I call them, you know, and I do things and like, that's what you want. Yuri, that's how you get Trey Llewellyns of the world to be texting you in the morning saying, good morning, man. Hope you have an amazing day. Right? Like you have to foster and nurture the right relationships and you have to put some backing behind that. So that's for macro, but for micro, they're not inundated and flooded with inbox offers. They have 5,000 people. They have some other people trying to take advantage of them. There's great opportunities in the micro without the need to put in the money. You don't have to send Nikes and a book to the micro people. You can just send them a personalized video. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Cool. I wonder if you make a Dream 50 in both. We do Dream 100 because it's really all about numbers. You're looking out of a Dream 100. I forget the exact stats. I'm sorry. Dang, I forget the exact stats to Dream 100. Apologies. Dante I is actually trained on Dream 100, so feel free to use him as you craft this. On that note, I put Dante I in the chat just in case anybody doesn't have his link. But if you send out 100, and this is where people lose it. I told you it took like 6 or 7 hours for Russell to shoot all those videos, right? And he shoots all those videos and he sends them out to people. And of all those videos, he gets like 20 people to watch them. And of the 20 that watch, he gets like 16 to reach out, you know, or 10 to reach out. And of the 10 that reached out and he was able to open the door and just start the conversation, only one of them manifests. People hear that and they're like, yeah, dude, no, sorry. Can I like run paid ads and make money on the front end? Can I not invest time and effort into this? Is there an easy button? Sorry, there's not when it comes to marketing, not when it comes to fostering relations. So here's how the game plays out. You do the first Dream 100. You get immediate results from one of the 100 people, and you're able to go do a cool thing with them and do a webinar in front of their community of 8 million people, and you're able to make $800,000 in an hour and a half for the first time in your life. Was it worth it now? I know it's a lot of work and I know it's hard. I tell you, 100 people you do this for and only one of them is actually going to do something with you. I know that sounds tough, but that one is huge. And then the 10 people that watched your video and they kind of reached out and texted and said, hey, got your package. Thanks a lot. Didn't really materialize or go farther than that. Guess what? Those people, you're now on their radar. Sooner or later, your ad hits or they watch a YouTube video or they hear you mentioned in somebody else's post. They're like, oh man, that guy reached out to me. So you get immediate result from one, but we get an organic trickle effect from the other 10. And now the other 10 over the next 3 years, maybe you get 3 more relationships out of those 10 because you are you naturally and organically doing your thing. And now what happens if we do Dream 100 3 times? What if we do Dream 100 x 3 and now I got 3 people off 3 campaigns I can do immediate results on. I have organic things trickling around. That's the game. Does it make sense?
That makes sense. I appreciate like you painting the picture of how hard it actually is, because what I don't hear often, it's like, I mean, you hear about the breakthrough stories, like so and so launches funnel, and it's like one funnel away, and then like you go do it, and then no one shows up to the webinar. You're doing the webinar by yourself. Someone reaches out from 5 years ago. Now you're having to do this, you know. So it's like, okay, I know we're gonna get the breakthrough, right? If I stay persistent in taking active action, right? But so I appreciate the truth of what it takes.
And I don't want to say hard. You said hard, and I love the aha, and thank you for sharing it because it's real and it's true. And I've heard this many, many times. It's not that it's hard. It's just intentional. That's what it is, right? It's the intention. It's the intention when you're at 30 and you're already exhausted and you're like, I'm tired of walking back and forth to this truck and I got to go in here and read the script for a minute and just familiarize. God, like I have so much other stuff I need to be doing right now. Do you really? Is that stuff really important, or is it nonsensical work that we put on our radar that we don't need to be doing? It's not that it's hard. It is just intentionality.
Okay.
But yes, pretty much everybody that I share that. So you mentioned the people that win. The people that win, they talk about in their webinars the struggles that they've gone through. They talk about in their webinars the failure. But when they're making these posts online, Sayuri, you are so right. They're not talking about the failures. They're not talking about, you don't hear about all that. You don't hear, oh, I just won my 2 Comma Club award. You do see these posts sometimes, but it's pretty rare. I just won my 2 Comma Club award. Let me tell you about all the failures I had along the way. You don't hear about nobody showing up. You don't hear about the first course that you ever made. But it is the game. We play this game, and sometimes there are outlying cases of virality, right? Somebody makes a product that's super in line with society or culture or topics or something, a movement. Like, for instance, yours, Sayuri. You actually are in a huge opportunity for virality because I'm in the niche amongst the Christian culture and churches across the nation. Marriage is the number one thing crumbling. Marriage is the number one thing being asked about. There's no greater topic amongst the niche than marriage, either people who are currently struggling or who have made it through it and now want to pour back in and help the people that they once were. Like, you have opportunity for virality 1,000,000%.
Thank you, Dante. I appreciate you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I saw this video. I purchased a funnel hackathon. I think that's what it's called. And I saw Harmozy there, and I was like, oh my, I was telling my husband, I'm like, see, like, you know, look at where he's at now, but no one realizes where he was like back in the day. Like, he was in the same rooms that maybe, obviously I'm not in the room, but I'm consuming the same type of content. So, and I wonder, like, what would you say from people like that obviously, like, they're consuming the same type of content that we're now consuming? Can you identify things that really stood out from, because he's so young too, like he's my age, and I'm like, how can someone be so good? I know that comes with like reps and just being persistent, but he's so good at what he does in so many things, like business, content creation, videos, and all the things. And I'm just like, I feel like I'll be like that when I'm 90, you know? And so
I'm curious, when did you start watching Harmozy online?
Like that, really paying attention, maybe like last year.
Right. You didn't watch the grind. I've been watching Mosey for 5 years. I've been watching him on his YouTube. I do not say this braggadociously, but I have watched Harmozy hit scripts that I say to explain things word for word years past. So you never see this from people. And Mosey's talked about this a bunch. So there's a whole, I can't talk about it. There is a whole reason that we don't talk about him and he doesn't talk about us. It's the whole thing. But you're right. You were in the same classes that he is. You are consuming the same content. You do have the exact same teacher. And in those rooms, there's so many other faces and names that you don't know. We kind of live in a bubble of entrepreneurialism, business ownership right now. We hear only a couple names and faces. There are studs that walk amongst us that we don't even know about. So everybody in that room is him. I don't mean to, what I'm about to say right now is not even just talking about him. Everybody in that room follows the exact same formula. We do the exact same things in life constantly every single day. And so here is the difference. He takes action and he's not afraid to fail. If you've been watching Mosey the past year, you have heard him talk about the 2 times that he lost it all. Specifically in the past month, he's talked the past 2 months. He's been really just putting out a lot of content about him and his wife, Layla, and about their marriage and about what they've gone through in their past. And this is the natural progression of human beings, right? They've gone through things. Now they talk about them so they can help others. It's the same thing we see in the church with our people. It's really cool. But he talks so much about how she was there with him when he made it all the first time and lost it all. And when he made it all, and when he lost it all. And how much have you heard Mosey talk about in the beginning when he was sleeping on a mattress folded up in the side on the gym? And how much do you hear him talk about the people, the haters, who were like cheering for him when he was on the mattress, but hated on him when he was in a penthouse, right? There's nothing from everybody in that room. They all do the same thing. You know what they do? They make decisions quickly and they change slowly. That is a skill set of an entrepreneur. For you, like Mosey, he would sit down and he would do his dedicated research and he would understand events. He would really look into Dave Ramsey and his past and how he started. He would probably even be calling Dave Ramsey, trying to speak to Dave Ramsey himself. He'd probably be trying to get on the radar of that, or even his events team, so he could just ask questions about how this works, right? And he would be like, if he was in your position, he'd be like, I just want to serve, and you guys have mastered the model, and I don't want to take you. I don't want to compete. I don't want to do anything, but like he would be trying to reach out. And I say that because years ago, this was like probably 3 years ago, he made a video talking about how he reached out to, this was when he was trying to figure out yogurt business or gyms. So, he reached out to a local yogurt, whatever it was, Froyo or whatever the place was. He reached out and he said, hey, I'm in college. I'm writing a paper on this sort of macroeconomics in business and space or something like that, restaurant economics. I'm writing a paper on this topic. Could I come in and talk to somebody and understand a little bit more? And they were like, yeah, sure. We'd love to have you in. Would you like our books? And you can really see how all the economics of this entire business works. And he's on the phone. Yes, I would love those books, right? So the amount of reach out, it's, and he's talked about this a ton. It's the intentionality. Goodness gracious, come on, brain. It's the intentionality behind it, but it's also, oh my goodness, I just lost my whole train of thought. You're close to it with reps. Geez Louise, sorry Siri, I lost it. But all those guys in the room, they all do the exact same thing. Guys, girls, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. They're all just unbelievably intentional. There it is. Finally, I got back to it. And they do enough reps. They do so many reps that it is inconceivable that they will not win. That's the difference. Russell does so many reps that you can't imagine a world that he does not win. For instance, as Mose talks about a ton, if you have a normal person who comes into this world, a normal person, what I'm about to say, the real highlight that I want you guys to take from this is intentional work. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Working hard does not lead to success. Doing the right work, hard and perfect, that leads to success. Many times we get bogged down. We don't know how to say no. So we get a calendar full of nonsensical people that are not our Dream 100 and do not really have any benefit to us. And we're getting on these calls and we're getting sales calls from companies that we're accepting. Why? That's not intentional work that gets you closer to your goal. So we need to learn how to scale our work with intention of where am I going and what do I need to get there? And is this thing that I'm doing a thing that gets me from here to here? If not, I don't care about it. It's hard to do. A lot of times entrepreneurs have to go through these lessons early on. That's why all of them have stories of failure, because that's how we learn these things. So, but Russell does so much. If somebody new comes in and I'll tell them about, hey, you have to post on Facebook every single day. They will make one post on Facebook every day for a week and they'll be jazzed, as they should, because this is a journey of entrepreneurialism. It's what I believe on that is just like a doctor never opens up a office. They all open up practices because they, as a doctor, have committed their lifelong journey to the practice of medicine and becoming a master of the thing that they practice. Same thing with business owner and entrepreneurialism. It is a lifelong journey of practice. But they do so many reps. So sure, somebody comes in new and they do a post a day for 7 days, and that's hard at the level that they're at with the practice that they've had so far, and I'm proud of them. But Mosey would have done 7 posts every single day on every single social media platform. He wouldn't have just done one, and that's what he does now today. He puts out 50 pieces of content on every single thing. So he does so much volume, it is inconceivable that he will not win. He doesn't call 5 people. He calls 105 people. And he'll look at how many people a day does my competition call? 25? Great. I'm doing 50. I'm doing 75. I'm doing 100. I'm doing so much volume. There is not a world that I'm not going to be able to win. Does that make sense?
Right. That makes
That's where
sense.
most people fall off. They'll do 10. They won't, they'll do, they'll make, all right, I finally got that out of the way. They'll make a post every day for 7 days and they won't immediately make a sale on that and they'll get discouraged and they'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with my ramble on that one. Sorry.
Well, that's good. Like I have my iPad full of notes because I want to make
Cool.
sure that I'm retaining. And I just finished reading the book Think and Grow Rich, which I know that Russell loves. Napoleon Hill, because I'm like he is the bridge that I chose to follow, the mentor that I
Mm,
had chose to follow, and I realized that I really have to be guarded because like one thing that I discovered about myself is that like in the even going through the one funnel away challenge, how we get traffic is like, okay, I built my funnel, you saw it, great. Okay, now I need to find traffic. Oh wait, but to find traffic I need to do now like one reel per day, and like then it's a whole formula for reels to actually like maximize my reach. And so then Russell interviewed Atlee from Viralish, and then I purchased her program, and now I'm learning how to make reels that can go viral. So like this process, it does take some time to learn the skill, and I'm just like trying to balance between, okay, if I have X amount of hours for work to be able to take this off, how do I balance it between the execution and the skill? So it's not like I'm going to different mentors, but even within the whole like click funnels, I find myself that I do have to get some skills that I don't have yet. And so like
mm.
now I'm like, okay, now that I learned the viralish formula, now I'm doing the reels per day. I'm gonna be doing YouTube once a week. I'm gonna be doing my weekly webinar and then just kind of like sticking to it. So
Yes. No, you're
so now I'm
perfect,
back.
Seer. You're perfect. That's exactly what you should do. You didn't tell
Okay.
me any program or anything that you've purchased that doesn't help get you from here to here, where you
Got it.
that's what we do. And now
Okay.
you're skill stacking. So this is
Okay.
great for everyone to know about. We're skill stacking. So you already identified, I want to do this thing. For me to do this thing, I have to be good at this, this,
Mhm.
this,
Mhm.
this, and this. None of this other nonsense that is important, but not for you to get there. And then you pour into those things. Russell has so many stories of, I was just listening to it. I was just going through the expert section again, week 2. I believe it was, I don't remember which lesson it was. It's like lesson 9 or 10, maybe. It's Mini Course Secrets is the one I was on. So anyway, he's talking about it where, man, back in the day, I go to my first event and up until that point in my business, I'd only made $15,000 in the entirety of the year. And I'm watching this speaker go up on stage. He does a 15-minute presentation. And at the end, there's people running the back of the room and I'm watching and they're buying and I'm doing math, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I watched the whole thing and he made $60,000 in 15 minutes. Up until that point, I had only made 15 in my entire 365 days. I was mind blown. And he said, okay, well, I need to learn to do that.
Okay.
And then he talks about how he had no money and he went and bought this guy's course and this guy's course and this guy's book and this guy's training because he was like, I need to learn to do that thing. And he bought what he needed. He acquired the knowledge he needed just to do that thing. And then he mastered that thing. And guess what? When Russell mastered that thing, he wanted to go do another thing now that he needed to get to the next level. And he got the knowledge and information he needed to do that. It never ends at the levels you go to.
Okay. That's good. Because it's
Cool.
not necessarily distraction. It's just like you said, like
It's just
recognizing
work.
what you need. Right.
Yep, it's just work. It's just, okay, so I need to learn these skills. I need to learn the webinar. I need to learn this viralish formula. So now I have this much content to consume every single day. I have a life schedule because I'm an adult.
Right.
And how do I fit this? How do I fit this learning into my life? And
Right.
and the room that you're mentioning that you're seeing the big people in, everybody in that room would make it happen. That's the difference. Call them hyper producers, call them narcissists, call them sociopaths. I don't know. Business owners are a very specific type of person, but they would be up till 2 a.m. every single day for 2 weeks, waking up at 5 a.m. every single day for 2 weeks because they have to learn and do these things. And if they can, but they know the outcome. They know what they're going for. They're so clear on their why. They're so clear on the vision and the vehicle they're using. They have true belief because they know if I do this for 2 weeks, if I grind, if I learn these skills hard for 2 weeks, and then I take another month and a half to really craft and fine tune the skills. And I know I'm going to, for me to do this thing, for me to have the skills, I know it's going to take 3 to 6 months of hard work, intentionality, grinding, less sleep. I'm going to have to learn to say no to things that I'm allowing to take my time right now that aren't in alignment with what I have to do. So I know it's going to be hard, but if I can do this for 6 months, I'm there. I got it. If I can make it through this, then I have the skills that I need to go be a business owner. And then you can start going to sleep at 10. You're still grinding during the day, right? You still have tasks. You still have reach out. You still have Dream 100. You're still doing webinars. You're still working hard, but it's not as hard.
Right. And I'm sure you're able to go to these lives and talk like this with so much passion. And it took a lot of practice, right? It didn't just wake up and learn how to do this.
No,
So.
of course not. Of course not. And like, you know, it is a skill, right? Like I'm married. I have kids. I have a life. I have clients. And like, I have all these things that I go through the same things that everybody else in the world goes through on every single day. You think I have like rainbows and sunshines every time before I come up to a session? Like today, it was not. I've had a brutal day so far. So it is a skill to be able to put yourself in the right zone to when you look at a camera, your eyes are still happy. And your soul is not just like muck, right? Of course. All of this is learned skill sets, but you fine tune and you perfect as you go. We need to just go. We need to start. We need to do. And for me to do, I need these things. So you're perfect. You're right on track. You're exactly right.
Thank you, Dante. I
Always a
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Cool.
Thanks for letting me back.
Thanks for letting me ramble on that. It is great to have you back. Hey, did you get with support? Did they get you set up?
They actually escalated it because I sent them a screenshot of the whole thing and they're looking into it. So they're gonna sort it out. But they did
Cool.
see that I only saw the date. And so I didn't have that date available. So I'm just
Premium.
hopping in.
Thank you much for that. You actually saved me like an hour of work there. You're the best.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's hop over to let's hop over to Margaret really quick. I'm gonna actually go backwards. You guys stick with me. I'm gonna try and move through really quickly. Let's go Margaret, Jennifer, and then we're gonna end it out with Jacqueline, Rockouts and Courses over there. Hey Margaret, how can I help today?
Hey, Dante. I have two questions for you today. I was on the call with my team yesterday, and on the Perfect Webinar funnel, page 3 is, it says webinar replay, but it looks like, and maybe I have this wrong, it looks like it's not a replay, but it's where you could do your webinar live through ClickFunnels, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing it through Zoomly. And I think I told them I would double check with you because all they hear me say is Dante said, Dante said. Sounds like my son when he was a little boy. My dad said, Mom. I'm like, okay. So I'm being outvoted here. So so for the third slide on the Perfect Webinar, that is for the replay, correct?
Yes, that is for the replay. And if you wanted to run an evergreen webinar where they can just watch the webinar at any time, opt in, it goes right to that page where the best replay is constantly available. That's how you could run that. But you can also put that step at the very bottom of the funnel and not use it, Margaret.
Okay. I do want to use it because we're going to replay on that Friday. And so my second question is when you do that replay and do the reveal for your offers on that particular page, when do you do it? Because so I'm adjusting to the hour and a half model that you guys gave me. So in the last 30 minutes, you're doing your offering, you're doing all of that. When's a great time for that to be revealed? In the middle of that, like 15 minutes into you doing that last 30 minutes, or at the top, or what would you recommend?
Do you mean for the replay page or while you're live in the webinar?
So that's a really good question. So let's just say both.
Okay, cool. On the replay page, just put it at whatever time you start your stack and close. Because the people, as the customer journey flow goes, they're going to be in the webinar. They're going to be watching you. They're not going to be in the funnel. They're not going to be looking at replay pages. Like when you hit your stack and close, and especially when we do it right, people are so locked in to what you're saying. They're just listening. Make your replay page really simple. If you do your stack and close around 2:45 p.m., just make it at even before. I wouldn't do it later. I would rather let me speak clearly here. On my replay page, I would rather open up my offer 30 minutes before I hit my stack and close rather than 30 minutes after. I would rather be early than late on the replay page. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then on your actual webinar, so how that works is when you're doing the webinar, when you're actually showing the thing, you're really controlling the stack and close, and you really control when they get the URL that they go to purchase. You're hitting them with the stack and close. So when you buy today, you're going to get this. This is this thing, and it's going to help you do this. So when you buy today, you're also going to get this, and this thing is this, and it helps you do this. But we're not done. Normally, the value of these two things is this much, but when you buy today, you're going to get this and this and this, and this thing is this, and it helps your customers do this thing. This is normally a value of this, but today only, right? And you're not going to have this and this and this at this price point. You're going to receive this and this and this and this and this at this today only price point here. So you control the timing, and you control when they get the link. On screen, as you go through the slides, there's a URL at the bottom of the offer slide that you say you have your stack slide, and that's the slide that sits up there for 20 minutes with the timer. That slide has your mock-up of your offer. It has the actual stack, the image mock-up to make it look sexy. It has the stack, the actual bullets of what they're going to get in here. And at the bottom of that slide is going to be a URL. That's the URL that they go to purchase. What you want to do is put that URL on screen so they can see, but also you put it in the chat. Right when so as you're doing the offer live, you're saying, and you're going to get this now when you buy today. So I put it on the screen. It's right there at the bottom. You always walk people through. You'll see in the webinar too, you walk them through the order form. So you'll see at the bottom, you can go to www.onefunnelaway.com. It'll take you right to this page. I'm also going to have the team put it in the chat. Boom, they put it in the chat right there. And then you're going to walk them through the order form. The team puts it in the chat. You share your screen and you show them the URL that you are taking them to. You then walk them through the page and the order form. You go show them. You're going to get to this page right here. Scroll down just a little bit, and here is where you can purchase. First, you're going to put your name, then your last name, then your phone number, then your email. In these boxes, put your shipping address. In these boxes, put your billing address. Your credit card number goes here, the expiration here, the CVC here. Put whatever else right here. Fill in the entire order form. Click the button right here, the blue button right here. Click here, and you're in. That's a huge part of stack and close. I just wanted to highlight it. Most people don't do that. Most people just hit a final stack and they say, so you're going to get this and this and this and this and this, and you can get all this today for this price. Just go to the URL I have at the bottom, and then they'll hit the 20-minute timer page, and they won't walk them through the page or the order form, but that increases conversions out the wazoo.
Okay. So I can use this page in my Zoom and just show them and walk them through everything, and then do it the way that you just shared it, which is important. That's what I'm really rethinking on my delivery and because I've been teaching forever, but I'm like, that's the wrong way to teach for this type of model. So
because we're not teaching, we're selling, and right. It is a mindset shift, 100%. Like in this, we're going to be using really presumptive language. Like when you buy today, when you purchase this, when you own this.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. I get it. I get it. So thank you for that. I needed those two answers so I can go back to these guys on how to set things up. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome, Margaret. Thanks for the time. All right, let's hop over to Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Dante.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Living the dream.
You are living the dream, and it's very inspiring.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate your kind words you shared the other day in the review as well. That was touching.
You're amazing. That was not smoke up your butt, okay? That was genuine.
I appreciate it.
I get on these calls and I'm just blown away. And there's so much to learn, you know. I'm behind Sayuri, but I'm trying to keep up.
You're doing great. It's step by
Um,
step. There's a lot to learn. You are not wrong with that.
Yeah, and you're processing. You're like, okay, does that fit? Does that fit? Am I ready for that yet? I'm not ready for that yet. Let's focus over here. But it's amazing. So just thank you so much for all that you give. It's
Ah,
a lot. It's a lot. It's
my
amazing.
pleasure.
Thank you. Okay. So even though I'm focusing on ecom right now, my dream would be expert. So that's constantly running in my mind.
Mm-mm.
But for me, I want baby steps, so I'm focusing on the ecom. But because
Which is
Sayuri,
a wise decision. Anybody who is in between tracks right now with 2025 and just how the markets are, if they were just starting out without any sort of offers, I would definitely tell them ecom to start. So I love that idea.
okay, thanks. That's
Cool.
comforting.
Good.
But when Sayuri was talking about it, and you were pouring in, I have so much, like, it's inspiring and I want to get there.
Mm.
So I've been through a lot of courses, and one course that I'm going through right now with a friend is LMA with Tim Han.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah. And I feel like his course is so different because he's just have you ever seen him?
I have not.
He's he's Asian and he's young and he's got a lot of passion and a lot of energy and he's very captivating in his delivery. His webinar is like 2.5 hours long, mostly just, well, 100%. It's him and his little office. It's not fancy at all. It is the same. He wears the same white shirt. You can see a little bit of a microphone, a little bit of a shelf, a little bit of a picture. It's tiny. He doesn't move. He's just, it's his head there. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then we sign up for his course and it's the same. And him and slides, him and slides, him and slides. That's all it is. Every day for an hour, 7 days a week. So I'm curious when we talk about like webinars and courses, you were talking with Sayuri about having the audience, the 5 people, and then working up to 100, but he doesn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think he mentioned like his courses touched 40 million people. So that seems like a good
And
model.
you're saying just his course?
His course and his webinar.
Yes, it's all talking head is what we call that. It's literally just his head. He goes into slides, he comes back and it's
slides, music, and then every day there's usually a couple or 1 or 2 3-minute exercises. It's a
in the course itself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll play a video, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. There's one a day for 7 days, and then that's week 1, and it's a six-week course. So it's every day for 6 weeks, whether it's an hour or 2. And then there's even a bonus, so you know that. But it's talking head, slides, and then he'll pause it and put up a slide and do a countdown clock, and ask you to do an exercise.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the webinar and his entire course. And I'm just like,
And he's going through it live with you every single day?
no, it's all recording.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. That absolutely works, Jennifer.
That's amazing because you don't even need the 5 to 100 people.
No, you do not. It's better. It's typically better to do it live. Like, have you gone through the experts series at all?
Not yet, but I'm so like jacked up on everything. It's stirring a lot. So I'm like, maybe I could do both. Just at least listen and learn it, you know?
Yes. I need to up stream. Let me show you this. Okay, so here we are. Mission 10, mini course secrets. And in this mission, Russell talks all about how to create your courses. These are awesome, awesome trainings. So feel free if you want to just like, now that you're learning these things, what you're doing is funnel hacking. I absolutely love this. We should all be observational. It is 100% every single day. We should always be looking at everything. Like I literally have accounts that I make and I follow specific people so that I can get specific ads in specific industries, right? Like just so I can be observational and watch and learn and stay on top. So you're doing amazing with all that. But like in this video, Russell is doing this live. He does this live with people in the webinar. So for Russell, that really helps him be engaging and be a good presenter, and he loves doing it live with people. And he also has the questions you'll see in here. He has the questions that people are asking, like as he's going through. And I bet that guy did the exact same thing. I bet he did the first week. He probably, even though he didn't have like Zoom and people in there with him, he was probably doing it live because he wants to see the questions that people are asking as they're going through day 1, day 2, day 3, and he wants to address those in. That's how you make courses. It's how you do it the first time. Take customer questions, answer them. You answer all future questions that people have, and you don't have to do the course live with anybody. Now they can enter an evergreen course that serves everything they need. So you're perfect. You're great. That is exactly a way that you could do it. If you want to learn more, I would tell you to go watch that training.
Okay.
Let's go back here to expert. It's mission 10. Yep. Mission 10, mini course secrets. And then if you want to start on the side, Jennifer, if you want to start even just thinking about it in the back of your brain, you know, what would my expert offer? What would I do? Go ahead.
I actually got a download from the Lord about 5 years ago in August of 2020, and he gave me a Post-it template. So I brought that out this past week, and I'm going through it. And as I'm hearing things or whatever it is, I'm making notes and adding to the template and the larger, filling it in, if you will. So I am thinking about it. I'm just going through the process of like what it would be, and I don't want to copy anyone else. How can it be originally and authentically mine, but add tons of value and all the things. So I am going through it, and all of the things that I have behind me, hundreds of courses, are contributing. Like, and it's one thing I find is very helpful is, for example, as I'm going through his course, I know that he has taken exercises from other books I've read. And I'm like, oh, it's not illegal to do that. You know, the mirror test or this or that, or, you know, and then I get an idea of how to change it or add to it or whatever, make it mine. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Because I'm very afraid, if you will, of like stealing. I don't want to steal anybody's stuff. I would feel like wrong about that. So, but
there is no new thing.
Yeah.
There is no new thing. Somebody 100 years ago came up with the concept of presumptive selling, where if I only use words in my pitch that are assuming that they are buying. So when you buy this car today, you're going to feel. Somebody 100 years ago came up with presumptive selling, but does that mean nobody else can ever talk about presumptive selling? Right? There is no new thing. That is literally scriptural. There is no new thing.
True.
And Russell has talked about it for years. People will pay more money for the same information repackaged and repurposed. That is facts. That is true. That is real. People will pay, like a disc assessment. People will pay more money for a disc assessment repackaged and repurposed. Like, there is no new thing in any capacity anywhere. So I would love for you to start thinking about it through that lens. And you're not doing this to be a thief. You're doing this to impart change, to serve the people that you are called to serve. So as you start thinking about this and you're like, man, 6 years ago, I did this thing and it really had an impact on me. And you're like, I would love to do day one, be that thing. Do it. Do it. Do it. Nobody owns it. It's a thing, right? a lot of people have the same mindset that you have, and a lot of them who have that mindset tend to be the same kind of people that you are. So it's not a bad mindset, but it will be a practice for you. It'll be like a limiting belief kind of practice where that mindset will keep on creeping in, and you're going to keep on having to kick it out the back door. Say, no, that's not real. It's not true. Trey, I get to do a lot of really cool stuff with Trey. And in the future, Trey and I will be doing some in-person events for ClickFunnels members and specifically OFA members. And as we're talking about doing that, Jennifer, not a one of us has come up with a new idea, a new concept, a new order of operations, a new time schedule of day one we do this and talk about this, and day two we do that. No, we have not said a single word of anything new. We are just hitting the framework, hitting the process. Day one starts like this: transformation in the first 20 minutes. Then we need to have a little bit of future pacing that shows them why they're here and what they're going to be getting out of this. And they need to see and believe in the future that they're building. Then we get into impact number one, right? No, we haven't said a single new thing. And we don't feel bad about the first guy that figured out how to do in-person mastermind events. Like, oh, I'm taking his process. Heck yes, I am. That works. And I have a service base. So I don't do this event. I'm not thinking about how much money can I make. I am. That's not true. I am thinking about that. There is, of course, always going to be an offer, but I'm not making that offer so I can take people's money from them and not deliver service. I'm making that offer so that the people that are doing the thing, they can take the next step. It's all based on service, right? Because that offer that I promote is going to be sick. It's going to be banging. People are going to be able to become millionaires from that product. So I have to do those things. I have to take the frameworks of success because that's how I can impart change on people's lives. And if I can impart change on people's lives here, what will they then go and take that change and do in their own lives? And how big truly can the ripple effect be from me just modeling success instead of trying to create a new wheel?
Yes.
Yes. You're on the money. You're on it.
Getting there. Thank you. Okay. Next question is, I'm a very private person, and I've struggled my whole life with posting. Not just because of becoming a public figure, but just in general, I don't even post to my friends about my life.
I'm the same.
So this is not a conflict of interest, because even in my own self, I don't share my life with my Facebook, and I don't have like Instagrams and all that. So in order to do this, I'm understanding that we have to, and I'm coming to terms with that. Do you have any tips or psychology for that, A? And two, do you have any tips for privacy, on the back end? Like, can people look you up and get your address and things like that?
Yeah. You're right. It really is at this point in 2025 and going forward, it is part of the process. Like the tools that we use as marketers change, society and culture changes. However, Yellow Pages is still in business. Yellow Pages isn't dead. They're still around.
And White Pages too. They're digital now.
Exactly right. So there are still a bunch of other different advertising methods that you can do. There are tons of different ways. Like, for instance, with I forget her name, Sakura, the first person we spoke to. Like Thank you, Yuri. She has a course and a training that is for people of faith on how they can save their marriage. Right, so yes, for Sayuri, she 100% should be on social media talking about these things and selling her course. Like it's a vehicle, it's a tool for a marketer. She doesn't have to be. She could absolutely just run Dream 100 and she could reach out to churches across the country and she could just do manual offline enrollment to build up her thing, right? But even saying that, if you really want to do the thing, you're gonna have to and when I say that, what I mean is like in Sayuri's case, if you want to be a Dave Ramsey, you're gonna have to become a public figure. There's a lot of ways that we can remain and retain our privacy. There's different levels to public figure. I'm not saying you have to have a live stream that follows you around everywhere you go, right? There's different levels to privacy, but you can make a $5 million a year business without being a public figure. Like in Sayuri's example, she could hire a salesperson, she could hire a marketing manager, and then she could hire a business manager, and she could make a $5 million a year business going and traveling to churches, teaching her training and courses on autopilot, right? Like, but if she wants to be a Dave Ramsey, she has to step into the limelight. She has to become a public figure. Anybody, any example, any industry, it's all the same.
Okay. Okay. So I'm working.
So what's your real question? I didn't really answer your question there. I just kind of gave an example. Right now, like, is your question for the e-com or the expert side of your business?
So
I imagine expert.
I haven't started that yet. It's consuming my brain, but just for now.
Yeah, but conceptually, as you're thinking about this, you're not worried about becoming a public figure, or you're not worried about losing your privacy for your selling of an e-com product, right?
Correct.
Right. Like you would be perfectly fine being the actor. Like, let's say you're selling a pet grooming tool. You would be okay with making a video for your funnel of you grooming your pet and running a thing, right? Like, that's not what we're talking about here, is it?
No.
We're talking about like being a public figure on an expert side of things, where you're sharing your personal life, your personal story, your personal experiences. Yes.
Like right now, I'm really inspired, if you will, by Eileen Wilder.
The Queen Eileen. I love her.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So do you have a question on how to be Eileen without losing privacy?
When you're setting up like your LLC and all those things, tips and tricks of how to keep your private information private.
Okay, that would be a great question.
Setup.
That would be a great question for ChatGPT. Like,
Okay.
Trey Llewellyn is not Trey Llewellyn's name.
Okay.
He has a different legal true name. Trey Llewellyn is a pen name or a pseudonym, whatever we call them. I am not going to be the one knowledgeable enough to answer this question for you, because I personally don't care about it. Although I don't post on my personal Facebook, that's just because I allocate my time to other things in life. I'm living life instead of posting life right now. But when I do my things, I could care less about my privacy. I post everything. So I'm probably not super knowledgeable. ChatGPT knows all the frameworks for that, though.
Okay, great. Okay. So I know today is expert day, but can I ask an ecom question?
I think Remix, I believe, has a expert question about her course, if I'm not mistaken. So I can definitely go into an ecom question, Jennifer. Give me a minute though. Let me answer all your expert questions. I'll check with everybody else in here if there's any other expert questions, and then we can definitely hit an ecom.
I can probably do a chat GPT. It's fine, really.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll take 10 seconds, but.
Well, what's your question then?
Okay, so I'm setting up Shopify for that product I told you about.
Great.
Because I couldn't find a single retailer to provide it.
Okay.
Would I need Shopify and Zendrop or just Shopify? I'm confused on that.
Is the product in Zendrop?
No. They said if you want it, you have to request it, and then they'll go source it.
Yes. Zendrop will. So have you done that?
I just learned about that yesterday. I had to take a break because I had 3 people in my family die. So.
Oh, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. That's tough.
No, I'm fine, really. But
that's brutal though. So that is how this would work. You don't have to use Shopify, by the way. You're welcome to. Here's the game for ecom, Jennifer.
Okay.
Funnels on the front end, stores on the back end. So like I personally would not advise you to run traffic to a Shopify store.
Okay.
I would tell you to create a funnel, an ecom funnel for the product itself, especially your product. Your product has a lot of information that you could share about it. There's a lot of marketing. Like a Shopify might be good if you were just selling a sticker. Shopify makes cart pages, simple product image descriptions, right? Like it's simple stuff. For your product could definitely use explanations, and that would be an interstitial page. That's exactly what Trey gives you in the challenge. That's what he teaches and preaches on.
So just Zendrop then.
You can use ClickFunnels and Zendrop, correct? What people do, funnels on the front end, you would run ads and traffic to your funnel. Funnels get a higher conversion. Shopify stores convert around 1%. Funnels convert around 5% on industry averages. So you run your traffic to a funnel that sells that one product. It's higher converting. You make more sales. You do better on your ad spend. Then
I just don't know where to get the product. That's my problem.
So you have to get it in a shipper or a fulfiller. Do you know the product you want to sell, but how do I ask this? Do you know the exact product that you want to sell? Do you know like where you could buy
it down? Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I've narrowed it down. I did all the research in the e-com thing for, the product. I did all of that. I did everything he said.
Yes.
Everything he said. So I have like 2 choices. And so I'm trying to find that supplier, but so far I don't feel like they charge so much, or I have to buy it in bulk, and I that's not what I want to do. So
right. What you would have to do here, Jennifer, is you would have to get that book in like a Zendrop. So you were perfect to go to Zendrop, share the product with them,
and let them.
Yes, they source it, they put it in, and then you can use Zendrop like a drop shipper, only on single products.
Okay, that's all. Go handle the other stuff.
Well, let me talk a little more here on this, just so you know the game, Jennifer. How much is the product sold for online right now? Or is it sold online right now?
I've never seen a funnel for it, but of course it's sold, it's sold.
Like on Amazon?
It's everywhere. So there are some for 20 all the way up to hundreds. And then even like eBay's, they have rare ones for more than hundreds that I've purchased. So it's really the gamut, but the sweet spot I think is around 40 to 50. But there's hundreds of varieties. So ChatGPT says like a journaling or something where you draw, or it's like interactive. So that's what I'm looking for. Those are the high desirable ones right now.
Okay.
And also a friend of mine bought one on some site, not a funnel, but just some site. And
like Etsy?
No, it wasn't Etsy. It might have been Amazon, and it was fulfilled maybe in China. And although it looked okay on the outside, on the inside, books were missing, and then some books were doubled. And I want to be careful of that.
So that probably came in a green tie bag, didn't it?
Maybe.
It probably did. That's called a, what do we call that? It's called a tie bag. It's literally called a tie bag, and it's the number one identifier of a drop shipped product from China, 100%. So more than I can tell you what that person did. They have a Shopify store. They have 17 plugins on their Shopify store hooking over to Chinese drop shippers. And that's a terrible customer experience. That never works. It literally never works. So this is perfect. I want to just share with you how this game should be played. Trey talks about in his training, when you find winning products, you need to get those products in bulk. We're looking, if we're going to be in e-com and we want to make money, we need to bring our products over. He airs all of his products over, but Trey goes through thousands of sales a day. He cannot afford to not have product on hand, right? For you would be filling up a shipping container and sending it over on a boat. That's how you get more product in for less cost. But what you should use Zendrop for, I want you to try to get your product in Zendrop. That would make your life easier. But even if you can't, we just need data. We just need to know if this product is going to sell, and if I do want to bring over a shipping container and sell these things, because then what you're going to do is you're going to bring it into ShipZoom. ShipZoom is going to be your 3PL. your third-party logistics. So now you're making sales in your funnel, and ShipZoom is shipping all throughout the country. And you're not doing drop shipping on. That's e-com done the right way. You're right. It is an investment, but it's an investment in what you know works. So how do we know what works? Most people will practice arbitrage in this example. So they would find, like maybe on Amazon or through some other provider, they would find the book that they want to sell. They would sell it on their funnel. And then they would go to their when they get a sale, somebody buys their book. So you have a book that you want to that you want to sell. Maybe it's on $57 on Amazon, but you're like, I think I can get 97 out of this book. What they would do is they would just build a funnel and they would sell the book without having any inventory, and they would test that $97 price point. And as soon as they made a sale, they would go to Amazon, they would purchase the book, and they would send it out to that customer's house. Amazon delivers and fulfills for them. 57 minus 97, you collect that $40 in profit right there. So they would arbitrage the initial sales, Jennifer, or instead of arbitraging, what we do is we still launch the funnel at the price point we want to sell at. And as we make sales, as soon as the sale comes through, we send out an email. Hey, I'm so sorry. We just literally sold our last unit. We have more coming over right now. Our inventory is going to be fulfilled soon. If you would like to wait, we can make sure that your order is the first one sent out, or we'd be happy to issue a refund right now. We are super sorry for the inconvenience because we're getting data, Jennifer. Does that all make sense?
Yes, got it. Thank you.
Game time. By the way, there's many million-dollar businesses every single year, Jennifer, that just arbitrage products from Amazon.
Really?
So there's million-dollar businesses that do it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I see it all the time. That book's only $37 on Amazon. Dude, you know what people do a lot? People will find a product on Amazon and then they'll sell that product as their own and they'll attach like a course to it. They'll be like, dude, that product's only 37. I could get 57, but if I made a course that went along with it, I could charge $97 for that. And then they'll sell that and they'll arbitrage the whole thing.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I'll look into it. Thank you.
Cool. You got it, Jennifer. Great questions. Thank you for them. All right, gang. Well, we have been moving and grooving through all the questions here today. Such a fun week in OFA. I have enjoyed this. I really, really have. However, if anybody has any final questions, we do still have some time. I'd be happy to answer. To be fair and clear, if we have got through all the questions, that is A-okay. I have a huge list of things I have to do today. So we could end early. I wouldn't fight you on it, that's for sure. But if there are any questions, gang, I'm here with you because I want to be here with you. So please, if anybody has any final questions to round us out for the day, feel free to just unmute yourself. Remix, if I'm not mistaken, I think actually I saw your hand up earlier. Remix, do you have a question? Or anybody else? If you do, please feel free to put your hand up. I'm happy to talk about anything. Awesome. Thank you, Margaret. It's great to see you again. All right, cool, gang. I think we're rocking and rolling. Oh, I saw one.
Nope, not today. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Great to have you here, though, Remix. Gang, what a week. What a week. I really, really, truly enjoyed it. You guys are awesome. You guys are fantastic. If you have not upgraded to VIP yet, please go ahead and do it. If you've been watching for any amount of time, you already know it's the best $100 you can ever spend by far. I would love to be here with you. I'd love to be able to answer your questions. I'd love to be able to share insights and frameworks and value for you so you can learn business, learn marketing, and just go out there and crush it. I want success for every single person. So if you're general admission or if you've just been lurking in the shadows, like I know many do, to learn, I'm proud of you for doing that. It's a great thing for you to do. I would like to prompt you to take action. 100 simple dollars, you get 30 days, join every single call. Let me help you. Let me pour your frameworks and show you the steps to take to success. But for everybody else, our current VIPs and all the rest of you, love my job. And it's because I get to do it and hang out with you guys. Please make sure to take some time this weekend and do something that pours back into yourself. Let's make sure our cup is full so we can hit next week with a full cup. Monday, we're going to be here rocking and rolling to do the thing. I'll catch you guys then. Have an amazing weekend. See you soon.